And we say good morning to you. We are live at Chick-Fil-A, the crossing of North Johnson City on this Wednesday. It's hump day, over the hump and through the woods to a wonderful weekend we go. Got ourselves a brand new month. How about it? November the 1st, 2017. Hard to believe. We're on a countdown to Christmas. We're at 53 days from today. 53 days from Christmas. It is here. November the 1st, although it doesn't really feel like it outside, it's going to be in the mid to upper 60s, 70s by the weekend, so we'll take it. But show number 627. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City, and we thank you for being with us as we got a full slate ready to roll here on this Wednesday hump day from Chick-fil-A, the crossings, as we said, in North Johnson City. We're going to be joined by Ivan Sanders coming up at the bottom of the hour from the Elizabethton Star talking sports. We're also going to be joined a little bit later on, not too far away, Jeremy Livesey and Brittany Kaysen from Movement Mortgage, one of our great sponsors. Been to their new digs in Boones Creek and getting ready to have a big open house in December, talking all about that. They're going to come by and, closing loans now like 5 or 6 hours. So speed. Movement Mortgage, they're going to join us. Also, Eddie Pless will join us by phone, the athletic director from the Elizabethton Cyclones. Eddie's going to be telling us what's going on with the transition from fall to winter sports at Elizabethton. Of course, big football game there Friday night. We're going to run down all the playoff games coming up here in just a little while. Also, Dave Angie joins us from the News and Neighbor talking sports. So we got a full plate, and we're glad to be here again. We always dedicate our show to the man that hung on a cross, and so here is the verse to get us started out of the book of Ephesians. It says, "May you grasp how wide and long and how high and deep my love for you is, a love that surpasses knowledge." You can't understand it. Hung up on the cross for us. You cannot ask or imagine the things I'm planning for you. So again, may you grasp how wide and how long and how high and how deep my love for you is. A love that surpasses knowledge. We can't comprehend how much he loves us because he died on the cross for us. He did it willingly, as a matter of fact. So that is the verse of the day out of the book of Ephesians, the book of Ephesians 3, 18 through 21. So we're live, ready to go. We got all kinds of things to talk about. The obvious, the big story, of course, Game 7. If you're a baseball fan, this is what you want tonight. Game 7. The Dodgers did it last night. They held off the Astros to force a Game 7 tonight at Dodger Stadium for the 2017 World Series, and it is going to be a dynamite game, I'm telling you. After church, going home, we'll see if we can't find it and watch it and enjoy it, because it is Game 7. We got a lot to talk about that too. So we'll take our first break, come right back. We'll jump in and talk about the World Series and about the Dodgers and about the Astros and get you ready. Also a little bit later on, college football. Got college basketball now beginning to kind of creep into the sports because it's right around the corner. And so we got Blue Nanza coming up tomorrow night for the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. They lose one of their big stars to an injury for the year. So it's been kind of good news, bad news for the Buck basketball team. And so all that coming up and more. High school football playoffs, going to run those down for you again as everybody plays on Friday night in the playoffs starting at 7 o'clock. All the games start at 7. Not everybody plays, but everybody that does play, I should say, starts at 7 o'clock on Friday night. That'll be, of course, as we said, at all the different locations. And we're going to be sitting in Elizabeth and watching the Cyclones and the Sequoia Chiefs on the sideline on Friday night. Also, be sure and check out the Sean Witten Coaches Show. It's there. It's up. It's ready. You can go to YouTube, type in Sean Witten. You can watch it that way. You can go to the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page, and it's right there as well. It says 2017 1031 is how you'll see it. Every week's show is there, and so just click on that particular show, and we preview the Sequoia Chiefs from the opening round of the playoffs coming up on Friday night. We also go back and showcase and give you the highlights of the Sullivan Central win. So it's there, it's good, and it's the Sean Witten Coaches Show. You can check it out. It's about 25, 26 minutes of pretty good content, I think. Coach Witten, I think, does a phenomenal job as a media guy. Some can coach, some can do media, very few can do both. He does a very, very good job, I think. So anyway, you can go check that out, like it, and share it, and we'll thank you ahead of time for that. We'll take our first break. We'll come right back, and we'll be ready to go as we are here live at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. I guess we'll put that on there because it is the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And we'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll jump in there and go. See what's going on. World Series, Game 7 tonight. Woo. Lance McCullers against Yu Darvish for all the marbles. We'll talk about it next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
That's how it worked. That's how it worked. I was going to talk to Danny Birchfield, but Brittany Casey just walked in and she trumped him. So she and Livesey are here. They're going to talk to us in just a minute. Movement Mortgage, we're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. They are hopping. We're going to let him tell you all about it coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's run down again the high school football playoffs. Again, we'll tell you that every game starts at 7 o'clock. We'll start in 1A Friday night. Cloudland hosting Midway. Coalfield will be in hosting Hancock County. Jellicoe hosting Oliver Springs, and Greenback has an open date in 1A football. 2A football, you have Sullivan North, the Golden Raiders, hosting Cumberland Gap. The Hampton Bulldogs from our region traveling to Rockwood Friday night. Happy Valley up on the hill hosting Oneida, and South Green will be traveling to Meigs County. In 3A football, Johnson County, the Longhorns hosting Northview Academy. Unicoi County travels to Knox Austin East to battle the Roadrunners. It'll be West Green at home against Kingston, and Claiborne travels to Alcoa. And 4A football coming up on Friday night. 4A football, you have Greenville hosting East Ridge. Sullivan South travels to Chattanooga Central. You've got Sequoia, the Chiefs, and Elizabeth in the Battle of the Cyclones. Check out the Sean Witten Coaches Show. Again, go to the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and check it out, or go to YouTube and type in Sean Witten, and there it is. Also, you have Granger traveling to Anderson County on Friday night. And 5A football, Daniel Boone hosting the Knox Central Bobcats. Morristown East travels to Sevier County. Tennessee High to Stone Castle hosting South Doyle. And Crockett will be on the road at Knox Falls. Where'd you go to high school? They're not playing this year. The Central, Knox Central or Solomon Central? Solomon Central. Well, let me say this. I saw them play last week. They haven't won a game. They've lost 30 straight games. But I will say this. They scrapped Elizabeth, and they were clawing and scratching. And, I mean, they didn't give up. They scored 14 points. And, you know, they could have folded the tents, game 10. But to their credit, they still were scrapping. So, got to give her props to her alma mater. 6A football, Dobbins Minute hosting the Ottawa Owls. Science Hill travels to Bradley Central. Farragut hosting Cleveland, and the Knoxbeard Bulldogs will be at Maryville. That's your teams from our neck of the woods. Everybody plays at 7 o'clock all the way through the playoffs, and so that's how she rolls again here on this first week of the TSSAA football playoff single elimination. Winners move on, losers go home. So, and there'll be some teams that shouldn't win. There'll be some teams that should win. There'll be some upsets for sure. So, but the good thing about it, they've restructured the playoffs, and so there are a few teams with sub-500 records, but not many. Last year there were teams that are 0-10 and 1-9, so they've kind of weeded that out. And so they've taken the top four, top two in each region are at home, and the bottom two, seeds 3 and 4, they travel. So they've kind of cleaned up the losing record atmosphere for high school football. All right, quick break. We'll come right back. We'll jump in here. Jeremy's here. Is Jeremy still here? To go? He's here. Jeremy's in the house. We don't care. Brittany's here. That's all we got. Miss Kasem is in the house from Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities. She joins us coming up next. And then we've got, as promised, Game 7 of the World Series. Lots to talk about the game tonight. McCullers for Houston, Darvish for the Dodgers. Anybody can pitch in these games. Kershaw said he can come back and pitch. Whatever it takes, this is it. This is what you start spring training back in March and February. This is what you're down to, Game 7 of the World Series. We'll talk about that. But first, one of our great sponsors, Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities, next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one-and-done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one-and-done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available, Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look at her right there. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, in the house. Brittany Kaysen. Now, Birchfield was going to come over and talk, but she came in and sat down, and I said, nah, you're out. Ladies in the hot seat.
Booted him.
That's it. Kicked him to the curb. So we've got Jeremy going to join us coming up here in just a second. But Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities, and so he's going to talk about this. Well, you can talk about the speed, too. One of the things, the big selling point for Movement Mortgage is how fast you can turn things around for folks. Tell me about that.
Yeah, 6-hour underwriting time. If I submit something in the morning, I'm getting it back this afternoon or the same afternoon, credit approved. So huge deal. Couple numbers for you. VA recently, we just closed in 12 business days. That's unheard of. All we were lacking is the appraisal.
So closed a VA loan.
Yeah.
12 business days.
Several conventionals. Conventionals go quickly anyway, but we just closed one in 7 business days from the date it was submitted to underwriting, so nobody else can do that.
So, all right, so typically a VA loan, you did it in 12. What's average? What's typical?
30 to 45 days.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
So you cut it in a third.
Yeah. Wow. So a lot of people see VA and kind of cringe because they know it's a lengthy process, but it doesn't have to be.
12 days.
We're seeing a lot of VAs too. A lot of VAs. A lot of relocations too. Retirements. Yeah.
And that's something you guys specialize in.
Yeah.
Or one of the things you specialize in. VA loans, a lot of folks don't want to fool with them, but you guys have a system in place Jeremy's going to tell us about, and you've told us about before, that boom, you can get it running through pretty quick, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, the name of the game is getting everything done up front, so we're just waiting on the appraisal. And that's the case, obviously, in that VA loan I was talking about earlier, and it just all worked out very well. So,
Donna Brittany Kaysen, see on the screen with Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities. Jeremy's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. So, you like telling folks who you have helped? That's what I always like to hear. I mean, you're dealing with folks with condos, with split foyers, downsizing, folks moving in, folks moving across from point A to point B inside the region. So, tell us some of the folks you've helped.
Well, just recently we closed a relocation from Michigan that bought a log cabin.
Really?
Yeah, up in Johnson County. Yeah, that's awesome. It was a beautiful home. But other than that, lots of relocations. Condos aren't really a big issue. We're seeing a lot of them. A lot of lenders see condos as a long, drawn-out process as well, and that's something we have our own dedicated condo team that's just in and out. So aside from that, we've got I'm seeing a lot of my age demographic, early 30s, buying their second homes, upsizing because of growth in family. Love helping those people out. First-time buyers, always a pleasure.
See, and that's the other thing too. We're talking to Brittany Kaysen, the first-time home buyer. Folks want to get to first place, and they've heard the process. The stereotypical is like it's a nightmare. It's this. It's stressful. It's nerve-wracking, and you all take great pride in dealing with first-time home buyers to kind of ease them out of all the stress.
They're my favorite. They're my favorite, Tom.
Is it really?
Because I was there. Yeah, I was just there a couple years ago. I didn't understand the process, but I mean, the way the routine normally works is you submit to underwriting and you wait a week and a half, 2 weeks to get a decision, when I can say I'm submitting your file at 9 a.m. and your credit approved at 4 p.m. I mean, it just makes the experience so much more less stressful for the buyer. Yeah.
Plus, we talked about this last time I was over at your all's office last week. A lot of folks did it backwards. They would go out looking around and see what they wanted, and then they'd call and say, "Man, I'd love to have this house," and say, "Yeah, you can't afford that house."
Right.
So now, you tell them ahead of time, here's your parameters, go shopping and have fun, right?
Right. And something that Movement also offers is it's called a TBD file. And a lot of other lenders, that blows their mind. But what happens is I get all your income asset docs up front, submitted to underwriting without a property address. When that happens, I still get the same turnaround time. You know exactly that you're already approved. You just got to go find a house. It's just amazing.
Which is fun, because then hubby and wife or whomever, widower, whoever's come to you, they can take off and just kind of literally go shopping. So
yeah,
you're pre-approved. Go have fun, find a home.
Well, and that's one thing Eric touched on his last segment with Nichar. It's a seller's market, and I have friends and clients that are coming to me like, well, it's happening so quick we can't even get an offer in. So you've got to have that leg up and know that you're pre-qualified and go ahead and submit the offer.
That's awesome. Talking to Brittany Case, see on the screen. Coming up, we'll talk about Game 7 of the World Series. Jeremy's going to join us, I think. He is taking calls left and right here, and that's a good sign. I know you guys, I think you told me already in November there's 16, 17 closings on the books.
Right.
And so you guys are just now powering up full throttle for your new office. So you're still doing business, obviously. Yeah,
oh man, it's never stopped. It's been going at both ends with getting the office set up and continuing our production. So.
McClure Boyd.
Yes, he's going to be amazing.
Angie
Almland, sorry, she just, I think, got married. Angie Almland from Peoples came over, so we're excited to have her. She's getting set up and acclimated.
Crystal's at the front right now.
Yeah, receptional Crystal, and then Jennifer Holyfield, she's coming over. So starting to build our team, other people interested, interviewing. So we're excited to see the growth and take over the region.
We are 53 days away from Christmas.
Holy cow.
Folks would say, gosh, there's no way they can't get me in a home before Christmas. Hey, at the rate you're going, you get them in a home before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, serve that turkey in your new home, yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat. So 12 days on a VA loan, and then hours to get approved for a conventional home loan, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, on any product, I get it same day as far as underwriting. So that's conventional FHA, USDA. It's 6-hour underwriting across the board, so pretty impressive.
It is very impressive. JeremyLivesey.com is where you go. Of course, that's the sponsor, and Brittany works with him and for him and helps him, and they help each other. And that's when I'm over there. That's what I like seeing. You guys really are a team.
I think we're a pretty good team.
You are. Great team. Yeah. You just get her done. Obviously, 16 closings already, and today's just November the 1st. So, and a lot of folks want to make that move and try and get into a bigger home or a smaller home with the holidays for whatever reason, downsizing or upsizing, or folks get transferred in. Do you see a lot of that, folks moving into the area?
Yeah. We've had about 3 or 4 relocations just as of October for last month. So lots of relocations coming in, either for job or for retirement. So definitely seeing a lot of that as well.
JeremyLivesey.com. Now, are you a baseball fan? You going to watch the World Series
tonight? Oh, yes.
Dodgers or Astros?
I'm going for the Dodgers. Yeah. Yes, I am.
I'm right there with you. I like to see them win. I love the Astros, and I think it's cool.
Yes.
They dedicated the series to the Hurricane folks in Houston, but I still like to see the Dodgers win it.
I agree.
Do you have a particular favorite player?
Oh, no. I don't really follow the Dodgers that much, but I would like to see them win it over the Astros. I'm a Yankee fan, Tom.
There you go. And the Astros put your Yankees out. So
the Astros put the Yankees out,
There you go. It's personal. I got it. So, Astros put the Yankees out, so we're pulling for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
All right. Good job. JeremyLivesey.com. Again, tell us where you're located. The new office is
106 Pinnacle in Johnson City. Yeah, we're Suite 101. We don't quite have our sign up just yet. We're waiting on permitting. But we're really excited to get that open house date nailed down so we can have everybody over, see the new digs. We're really proud of it. So excited to get it open and fully furnished.
It is very, very nice.
Get our team in there.
It's right across from Cracker Barrel, Boots Creek. So it's the strip center, strip plaza, whatever you call it, that faces Cracker Barrel. So good stuff. All right.
Yep.
You're awesome. Give me some taters. Go Dodgers, right?
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. All right, let's see. Is he coming? Here he comes. My man's coming in here. I do appreciate him again. That's our buddy, Brittany Casey, who does a fantastic job, and she's awesome. And we appreciate her 12 days. Mr. Livingston, you're on now. You are in. There we go. He's in. Headset on. Setting on in the seat.
Get your food.
All right, here we go. Ready? And boom, we're back. There he is. We just moved from the beauty to the beast.
I have a telegram.
Our buddy Jeremy Livesey at JeremyLivesey.com, out on the front porch, wheeling and dealing. It's
that's exactly what I was doing.
I was watching your face. I'm thinking, okay, there's some serious talking going on over there. So, gosh, she told us 6 hours. Tell me about that again. That was really cool.
Yeah, the underwriting time's actually pretty quick. So we sent a new file down yesterday for one of our new loan officers we hired, and I think it went down around 9 o'clock, and we had it back around 2. So, and it looked pretty good.
So what are folks looking for right now? Brittany said a lot of folks moving in. She told about a log cabin that closed. Folks coming in from Michigan, following up Johnson County. So are you seeing folks coming in?
We have a lot of people moving in. We've got a couple moving here from New Hampshire, and another couple from Florida. So it seems I guess the area where you got 4 seasons, you've got low cost of living and everything like that, and we got a lot of them are VAs too. So we got the hospital here close. So people are coming in.
Are folks coming in retirement related or job related? Or
usually, both really, but a lot of it's retirement. And so we have a lot of people retiring in this area or buying a second home. And so we just closed on one yesterday as a second. We call it a second home in our world, but it was on Cherokee Lake, and they live in Moorestown. They're buying a house on Cherokee Lake, and we can consider that a second home, which saves them on the interest rate. Saves them on a lot of closing costs and stuff like that. So, but they're moving like 15 minutes from their house just to have a second place to live on the lake.
Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities. It's JeremyLivesey.com. So again, step me through the process. Do I go find a home first and then call you? Do I call you first?
Most people already have a home for some reason, then they call us because their realtor didn't do their job. And so I have the realtors we work with on a regular basis. We've got them pretty much trained to make sure they call us first to tell them what kind of loan we're doing, how to structure the contract and stuff. But this week's been a little different, a little sketchy. We've had a few come in. They'll say, I've already got them under contract now get them some financing. I'm like, well, thanks for the heads up.
There you go. How many times do you get handed from another company that couldn't get it done?
A lot.
They come to you and say, this XYZ company couldn't do it, can you do it? And you do it.
We're actually doing one right now. It's one of the girls, she's moving here from Florida, and she had been dealing with I will not name the company, but it's
XYZ.
Yeah. And so they couldn't figure out how to get the deal done, and we got it. We plan on closing it in probably around the 15th or so. So, but we get those a lot.
16, I think you said 16, 17 closings already in the books for November. Today's just November the 1st.
Yeah.
October was a good month too.
Yeah.
Given the fact you're in transition, trying to open up a new office.
Yeah, we did just over 20 closings for about $3.5 million. So it's not too shabby for this area. So, but yeah, and we're finally now where we can get out and do stuff. We got our office almost set up, ready to go.
Angie, McClure, Jennifer, Crystal, Brittany,
me,
and you.
And we're gonna slow down for now. We'll hire some more people first year once we get everything acclimated. So.
We're talking again to Jeremy Livesey, JeremyLivesey.com. Game 7 of the World Series tonight. Dodgers. Now, Brittany said the Astros put her Yankees out, so she's pulling for the Dodgers. You would.
Well, that's a horrible reason to do that. So.
Well, I kind of thought the same thing because the Yankees got put out by the Astros. She's pulling for the Dodgers. So there you go.
That's just emotion. You can't be that way. No, my theory is I've never liked the Dodgers. So that's my point there. I'm still getting used to having the Astros against the Dodgers in the World Series, or the Astros in the American League to begin with.
Yeah.
And so I'm pulling for the Astros only because they have so many former Braves on their team.
He's a Braves guy.
So that's all Gaddis playing last night, and got McCann, and we've had a lot of Astros that are former Braves that's gone through the system. Yeah.
So the Braves just got them really good and traded them off where they could be really, really good. Help
Yeah,
the World Series.
that's exactly right. I mean, we seem to pull for teams. I was telling a friend of mine last night, both my teams, like the Braves and the Miami Dolphins. So Miami Dolphins is really good about drafting some people and trading them off and making them, superstars somewhere else. Let's see, look at Fred Ginn Jr. You got Wes Welker. They just traded Ajayi yesterday, fitting Jarvis Landry on the market now, and
they've announced a boy named Sue is not going to figure in their plans past this year, so they're going to cut him loose.
Yeah, so basically they've decided to become the New York Jets. So it's all working out.
All right, this guy knows the NBA. He keeps me up to date with the NBA. So Detroit, is that the hot team right now?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. They're young, too.
The Cavaliers are struggling, and LeBron said he's not worried. He's okay. He's all right.
Well, I mean, it's early in the season. I didn't even notice till the other day that the Cavaliers have surpassed your Spurs as the oldest team in the NBA.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thanks to Dwayne Wade. So, so there you go.
So they're the oldest team as far as
they are the oldest team by average age. Yeah,
average age in the NBA.
Yeah, so that's probably playing into a little bit of, but they don't have Thomas yet. They're still trying to gel with what they've got, and give them till first year they'll be all right.
Last night, Phoenix, Indiana, Oklahoma City, and the Lakers got wins in the NBA.
Lakers look good.
Golden State, they're struggling. They're 4-3, but you think they'll get it together?
Oh yeah, they'll be fine.
All right. Yeah, it is early.
Yeah,
7 games into a 82-game schedule. So
and they've stretched out the season, so it's not as crazy as it was. So you got everybody playing. Everybody's playing up, so you don't have any body sitting on the bench now. You don't have everybody's going to be rested. I think it's going to be a good season.
Aren't you going to go watch somebody play, aren't you?
I'm going to try to. We're going to Charlotte here in a couple weeks. I'm going to try to watch them play the Cavs.
The Hornets and the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
So LeBron James, and who's the Hornets got? Who's their star?
Well, they got Dwight Howard and a bunch of other people that nobody knows about.
Yeah. Me included.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big follower of the NBA. I mean, I know enough to be dangerous. I know the Spurs they're okay.
Spurs are good till Pop open his mouth, but other than that, it's good.
Yeah.
They just need to stick to coaching and playing and not try to be political figures.
Yeah, Pop kind of went off on the president, and I didn't really take too kindly to that. So
yeah,
but it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
Tennessee football. What do we do? Where do we go with this one now? Do we keep Butch? Let Butch go?
Oh, I think he's already on his way out. I read something this morning. They've already started negotiating his buyout, so we'll see how that goes. But if I were him, just consider yourself lucky. I would love to be the UT coach being fired right now.
Yeah. Making that kind of money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. His buyout's what, $9 million, and they're talking about him just taking a lump sum and ride on out. We'll write you a check for 5 or 6 and send you packing.
I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So
I'm just worried about who they get
right now.
Depends on what type of loan you're doing.
No, I'm just talking about on savings, 2 or 3%.
Oh, 2 or 3. Yeah. Oh, not even that. Depends on how you do it, but yeah, you can invest and get 7 or 8%.
Yeah. So I get a check for $6 million. I'll pop in the bank. I can live off the interest.
Absolutely.
I could be okay for a while. Go to Food City.
I think you could.
Pop-Tarts, Beanie Weenies.
Yeah. It might change your lifestyle a little bit. Yeah, but you can make it work.
JeremyLivesey.com. This man does it. So again, 6 hours. What we're down to now, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
It's crazy.
So 9 o'clock this morning or 10, whenever it is, turnaround time is about 6 hours.
Yeah.
You can get somebody bought, ready to go, and go out and buy.
And that's if we send it down in the afternoon, it's usually there the first thing in the morning.
So how does this speed up the closing? The whole process speeds up too?
Yeah, it really depends on. I mean, most of them still have them out 30 days, which is normal for this area. But it's good to get the credit stuff taken care of first, in case your borrower, if you have to have something from the borrower, gives them plenty of time. Plus, we love for them to be final approved on that side, though they can actually not stress out about the whole thing. So we just have to usually wait on the appraisal.
They do a phenomenal job. Again, it's Jeremy and Brittany and Angie and McClure, and Jennifer and Crystal. So I'm learning all the names. So it's good peeps. We're going to be down there now. You're getting ready to you're in the planning stages of a big Christmas open house, get together, hoorah kind of thing coming up.
It will be a hoorah.
So that's
it's a shindig.
A shindig.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that in a long time. We're going to have a shindig to officially open it up and tie right into Christmas, right?
Yeah. We figured might as well do all at one time instead of having to.
Excuse me.
Everybody's busy this time of year anyways. We want people to come see the office. Might as well do something good for it. So we'll be picking some charities. We'll raise some funds for them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. JeremyLivesey.com. You hungry?
Actually, yeah.
Good. Is Brittany hungry?
She says she wasn't, but I'm going to get her some food anyways.
Yeah. She already leave?
Yeah. She had to go. She had to run some errands.
Oh, I got it.
I only give her an hour.
You're a piece of work.
Yeah, I'm a tyrant.
No, you're not. You're a great guy. He is a great guy, I'm telling you. And he does a lot of things, a lot of people behind the scenes that he doesn't want anybody to know, and that's because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Whenever you need me.
There you go. There's our buddy Jeremy Livesey. We'll take a quick break, come back as we told you coming up a few minutes ago. We'll jump in and talk. We got a whole stack of the World Series, Game 7 tonight. We'll talk about it next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live again. We're at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, home of Connie and Tim and all the kids, and we love coming over here and hanging out with you every Wednesday, or most Wednesdays anyway. So let's And let's go back to the other camera. I like the other camera better. Let's talk World Series. Ooh, it's here. It's Game 7. It's tonight. It's the real deal. And so the Dodgers avoid elimination with a 3-1 win over the Astros to force Game 7. Winner take all game. Game 7 tonight from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. George Springer, his 23rd home run of the series in the third inning, giving his club a 1-0 lead. 23rd home run of the World Series, which is a record, of course, between two teams. That home run was Springer's 4th of the series, tying him with Lenny the Nails Dykstra for the most ever by a leadoff hitter in a single World Series. He's the first player to hit 4 homers in a single World Series since Chase Utley did it in 2009. Also, here's another pretty interesting stat. George Springer joins the Iron Horse, the late Lou Gehrig, as only players to hit game-tying or go-ahead home runs in 3 straight games of the same World Series. This guy, if the Dodgers, or rather if the Astros go ahead and win this thing, Springer could be a... Oh. Okay. Lost my train of thought. Jeremy just threw me a curveball. George Springer joins Lou Gehrig as the only players to hit game-tying or go-ahead home runs in 3 straight games of the World Series. And there's one more point. Springer's dinger was home run number 14 for the Astros this season, which ties him with the 2002 San Francisco Giants for the most in a single World Series. So George Springer, the same company as Lou Gehrig. Again, if the Astros going to win this thing, Springer could be certainly a candidate for the MVP award for the World Series. So we'll see, but again, there'll be Game 7 tonight. Justin Verlander was dominant for 5 innings, and once again the Dodgers were able to get to him in the 6th inning. Game 6, the Dodgers manufactured 2 6th-inning runs against Verlander after he shoved him for 5 innings. He retired 15 of the first 16 batters he faced. Phenomenal game for Justin Verlander, but again, they did get to him, and so again, the Dodgers win at 3-1 to move into Game 7 of the World Series. A controversial move by Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager. Could have backfired on him, but it didn't. The bullpen was out of gas. He brings in Brandon Morrow, who allowed 4 runs in the span of 6 pitches in Game 5. Morrow got the call in the 5th inning and got Bregman to ground out to escape a jam. A pivotal moment in the game. So Brandon Morrow, here's a guy who got lit up. 6 pitches, 4 runs in 6 pitches in Game 5, and so Dave Roberts, with confidence in his bullpen, says, we'll come right back and spell Rich Hill and put him in there. Hill went 4 2/3 of the starter, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, it was earned, a walk, and he struck out 5. So he brings in Morrow, and Morrow could have very easily laid an egg, but he did not. He did exactly what he needed to do, got him out of the jam, and so that could have been, if it had been backfired, a controversial decision at the time that could have been talked about all off season if the Astros are going on to win, but they didn't. And so the Dodgers get into Game 7. Jock Peterson, big home run, a solo shot of the 7th inning for insurance. Again, the Dodgers win at 3-1. So let's give you the numbers. Lance McCullers will be on the mound tonight for the Astros against Yu Darvish. And so here are the numbers for the Astros when Justin Verlander's on the hill. Between the regular season and postseason, Justin Verlander has now made 10 starts for the Astros. The record in 10 games, 9-1. Game 6 was Houston's first loss as Verlander was on the mound since they picked him up in the trade August the 31st. So, Game 7 tonight. Dodgers-Astros closing out the World Series with the 38th winner-take-all Game 7 in World Series history. The 2nd straight World Series, the Game 7. It's also the 3rd World Series Game 7 in the last 4 years. And so we're going to Game 7 tonight. The National League 23-14 all time in Game 7. 23-14. They've won the last 3 Game 7s and 5 out of the last 6. Also, the road team in the World Series, Game 7, is 19-18 all time. So the road team has won the last 2 Game 7s. The Cubs did it last year, and the Giants did it in 2014. 9 of the last 11 Game 7s were won by a team that trailed in the series 3-2 and had to win Game 6 to force Game 7. That would, of course, in this case, would be the Dodgers. The Astros have never played a World Series 7. They've never won a single World Series game before this year. This will be the 6th World Series Game 7 in Dodgers history. They won Game 7 in 1955, 1965, and lost Game 7 to the Dodgers in 1947, 1952, in 1956. So, again, NL is 23-14 all-time in Game 7. The road team is 19-18 all-time in Game 7. So, all the stats show it's a Dodgers victory, but I'm sure the Astros will say, no, we won't have anything to do with that. So, Lance McCullers goes tonight for the Astros and Yu Darvish for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw says if they need me, I can throw 27 innings. He's jacked up, juiced up, ready to go. Kershaw started Game 5 on Sunday. He said, I'll be available if they need me to bring me out of the bullpen. This is it. Game 7, winner takes all. And so Kershaw said, if I've got to go 27 innings, of course, joking, of course, I'll do whatever it takes to get a W. So Kershaw said he's ready to come out of the bullpen if need be, in case Yu Darvish runs into trouble. So it's Game 7 tonight, World Series, the Dodgers and the Houston Astros, and it should be a barn burner. It's been certainly this up to this point. And so they're looking for a big, big night coming up tonight. And it should be and will be. It'll be a great, great ball game. What else happening in sports? We say good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Our second guest, Ivan Sanders from the Elizabethton Star. We heard from him. He's got a little bit of a situation going on. He may not be able to get here at all, but certainly not going to be here at 11:30 like he was supposed to be. We understand that. Had a little situation, so he's working through that, and we hope to have him in here on the show before we go off the air a little bit later on this Wednesday. Right? We gave you the winners NBA: Phoenix, Indiana, Oklahoma City, and the Lakers. Tonight, your schedule is a heavy night tonight. Atlanta and Philadelphia, the Cavaliers hosting Indiana, Milwaukee at Charlotte, Phoenix and Washington, Chicago, the Bulls play at Miami tonight. Also in the NBA, Sacramento and Boston to battle the Celtics, Houston and New York, Minnesota, New Orleans, Orlando and Memphis, Portland, the Trailblazers, and Utah to battle the Jazz. It's Toronto at Denver, and the Clippers hosting the Dallas Mavericks in NBA play for tonight. National Hockey League on the ice last night, your winners, the New York Rangers, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Winnipeg Jets. And so in the National Hockey League for tonight on the ice, you've got Nashville skating in San Jose against the Sharks. They're on the West Coast swing. They got 3 straight games on the left coast this week. Nashville at San Jose tonight. New Jersey skates at Vancouver. Toronto and Anaheim. Pittsburgh, the Penguins at Edmonton to skate against the Oilers, and the Blackhawks home tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. And that's your National Hockey League schedule and your NBA schedule for this Wednesday, November the 1st, 2017, and the countdown to Christmas at 53 days from today. Quick break. We'll be right back. We've got college football front and center, a lot of college football to tell you about. We'll do that coming up next year. So live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on show number 627 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available, Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-Fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-Fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Hello to Kurt Stevenson. Hello, Kurt. Also, Kim Witherspoon, David Strickland, some of the folks, Scotty Fain, Jennifer Johnson, some of the folks watching the show today, and we thank you for that. And so we're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Be sure and like the show and share the show. And also be sure and check out the Sean Witten Coaches Show. Again, we did the highlights of the Solomon Central win, also a preview of the Sequoia Chiefs, and all the 4A games coming up again in the TSSAA football playoffs. And so we would encourage you to check it out. Tom Taylor Sports Show, the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. Again, it'll have a big top 3 on the front of it. That's how it starts the show. The Sean Witten Coaches Show. That's the front screen. It'll say top 3. Click on it, and away we go. We got highlights of the Solomon Central game. Also the preview of the Sequoia Chiefs with Coach Sean Witten, and also some keys to the game. Who's going to be big and who's needs to play well for the Cyclones on Friday night. Remember, all the playoff games start at 7 o'clock across the state, all playoffs long because there's a lot of travel involved. So anyway, check it out, like it, and share it. We'll thank you ahead of time for that. College football. Let's see, we got a game tonight coming up. A Battle of Michigan. Central Michigan taking on the Broncos of Western Michigan. Central at 3-5, Western Michigan at 5-3. Kickoff tonight at 8 o'clock. More and more, it looks like. I mean, they're almost playing every day of the week. Used to be Saturday was college football. Then they start playing some on Friday night. Then some on Thursday. Now they moved it back up to Wednesday. So tonight, Central Michigan and Western Michigan. And that's for this evening. Tomorrow, Navy at Temple. Idaho at Troy. Ball State at Eastern Michigan, and Northern Illinois at Toledo. Those are some of the games tomorrow. But tonight, Central Michigan at Western Michigan and Kalamazoo, 8 o'clock kickoff for tonight. Let's take a look at the Atlantic Coast Conference, break down some of the conferences. ACC Atlantic Division, Clemson on top at 5-1, North Carolina State in second at 4-0. In the Coastal Division, Miami at 5-1, Virginia Tech in second place at 3-1. That'll be decided this coming Saturday. Here's your schedule in the ACC. Syracuse in Tallahassee to battle Florida State. Georgia Tech at Virginia. Clemson at North Carolina State. Could be a trap game for the Clemson Tigers. North Carolina State pretty good. Wake Forest at Notre Dame. And a marquee game, of course, Virginia Tech, the Hokies in Miami to battle the Hurricanes on an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday night. Big 12 Conference. Your top 4 top 4 teams are tied for first place. Oklahoma State, TCU, and Iowa State all 4-1. Your schedule this week in the Big 12, Baylor at Kansas, Kansas State at Texas Tech to battle the Red Raiders, Iowa State at West Virginia, and Oklahoma at Oklahoma State, and then Texas at TCU. That's the schedule coming up on Saturday for the Big 12 Conference. In the Big 10 Conference, in the East Division, Ohio State at 5-1, Penn State at Michigan State at 4-1. In the Western Division, Wisconsin at 5-0. In second place right now, Northwestern and Nebraska at 3-2. Games on Saturday in the Big Ten Conference. Illinois at Purdue, Penn State at Michigan State, Wisconsin at Indiana, Rutgers playing host to Maryland, Northwestern at Nebraska, Ohio State goes to Iowa to battle the Hawkeyes. In Minnesota night game, the Big House in Ann Arbor, the Golden Gophers in Minnesota to battle Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. Southeastern Conference, Western Division, Alabama, of course, 5-0, undefeated, number one in the land. Auburn at 4-1. In the Eastern Division, Georgia at 5-0, South Carolina at 4-2. Games on Saturday, Florida plays at Missouri. Also on Saturday, Western Kentucky in Nashville, non-conference game. Vanderbilt plays host to Western Kentucky. Mississippi State, non-conference game against UMass. Also, you have Auburn at Texas A&M, South Carolina at Georgia on Saturday. Ole Miss at Kentucky. Arkansas hosting Coastal Carolina. Southern Mississippi, homecoming at Tennessee, 7:30 kickoff on Saturday evening. And then LSU at Alabama, and that'll be an 8 o'clock kickoff from Tuscaloosa. So that's what's going on there. Southern Conference, you have Wofford and Furman on top at 5-1. Western Carolina at second place at 4-2. The Bucks of East Tennessee State, again, they're at 1-4. Only team below them in the standings, VMI. They'll play them on Saturday. That'll be a 3 o'clock kickoff here in Johnson City. The Bucks at 1-4, VMI at 0-6. The Buccaneers overall at 3-5, and VMI has yet to win a game. They're 0-9. 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll talk to our buddy Joe Avento about that tomorrow night in the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show coming up again on 5 o'clock tomorrow again from Champion Chevrolet, again on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile, Johnson City. So we take a look at the top 25 college football. Here we go. Number 22, Memphis. Friday night will be at Tulsa. Memphis at 7-1. The Golden Hurricanes at 2-7. Early games on Saturday. 4th-ranked Wisconsin at Indiana. 7th-ranked Penn State and Michigan State. We told you, is that going to be a night game or a day game? Let's see. Penn State, Michigan State. That'll be a noon kickoff on Saturday. So 12 o'clock. Go ahead and put that on the old ledger. 12 o'clock on Saturday, Penn State at Michigan State. Nittany Lions 7-1, Michigan State at 6-2. 16th ranked Auburn plays at Texas A&M. War Eagles at 6-2, Texas A&M at 5-3. He needs one more win. He being Kevin Sumlin to be bowl eligible for this year, even though the heat's on him down at College Station. UMass 2-6 at Mississippi State. 21st ranked Bulldogs at 6-2. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. There are 3:30 games on Saturday. South Carolina 6-2. Muschamp's done a pretty good job in Columbia. He'll go to Athens to battle Georgia, who's second in the country and 8-0. And some say the best team in the country outside of Alabama. That remains to be seen, of course. South Carolina number 2, Georgia. 3rd-ranked Ohio State at 7-1. The Buckeyes will be playing at Iowa, who's 5-3. 3:30 kickoff. Other 3:30 games. 5th-ranked Notre Dame at 7-1, hosting Wake Forest at 5-3. 3:30 kickoff. North Carolina State, 20th ranked Wolfpack at 6-2, hosting number 6 Clemson at 7-1. That's a 3:30 kick. Also kickoff at 3:30 in Morgantown, West Virginia. The Mountaineers at 5-3, playing host to 14th ranked Iowa State, who's 6-2. Also a 3:30 game. 18th ranked Stanford, the Cardinal, at 6-2 at 25th ranked Washington State, 7-2. That's in the picking panel. Pretty good ball game. Real good matchup, as a matter of fact. 4 o'clock kickoff, the Battle of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma, number 8 in the country at 7-1. At number 11, Oklahoma State, who's 7-1. That'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff. 10th ranked Texas Christian playing host to Texas. TCU at 7-1 and 10th in the country, hosting the Longhorns of Texas at 4-4. 15th ranked Central Florida at 7-0. They're going to be at number, or not at number, but unranked SMU, who's 6-2. So Central Florida 7-0 at SMU at 6-2. That's a night game. Also at night, 19th ranked LSU, 8 o'clock kickoff in Tuscaloosa with battle top ranked Alabama. Crimson Tide at 8-0, LSU at 6-2. 13th ranked Virginia Tech, as we told you, the Hokies at 7-1, playing at number 9 Miami, who's 7-0. That is a 8 o'clock kickoff. 2 more to tell you about. 12th ranked Washington, the Huskies at 7-1, hosting Oregon 5-4. That's a late game, 10 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. And then also, even later at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time, 17th ranked Southern Cal at 7-2, playing host to 23rd ranked Arizona at 6-2. That's your top 25 college football games for this coming Saturday. Again, our local teams: Tennessee, Southern Miss, 7:30 from Knoxville. Virginia Tech at Miami, 8 o'clock in Miami. 3:30 kickoff. East Tennessee State, and the cadets of VMI, the winless cadets. And again, all you have to do is go back to last year. VMI beat East Tennessee State 37-7 last year in Lexington, Virginia. So Coach Torbush, needless to say, not taking the VMI cadets lightly at all. Haven't gotten beaten, I should say, by them up there last year, 37-7. This young man, we've had him on the show several times, leaving his post at the Johnson City Cardinals. The new general manager they're looking for, Tyler Parsons, going home. The Cardinals looking for a new general manager. Parsons, who served as the team general manager since 2014, a native of Michigan, accepting a position with the Lansing Lugnuts in his home state. The Lugnuts, a affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays, played in the Class A Midwest League. Lansing was Johnson City native Daniel Norris's first full season minor league stop on his way to the majors. And so Tyler Parsons leaving as the general manager for the Johnson City Cardinals. We wish him well. Been on the show several times. Great interview. And so he is moving on to be in the Blue Jays organization with the Class A Midwest League Lansing Lugnuts baseball team. So, again, we're going to miss Tyler Parsons, a good guy and a great ambassador for baseball, and certainly a great ambassador at the time for the Johnson City Cardinals. And so going to be missed. Did a good job, and we appreciate his efforts very, very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go to the phone, check in with Eddie Pless, the athletic director from Elizabeth, and talk about Cyclone Sports. We'll do that next as we're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City, on this Wednesday, November the 1st. Countdown to Christmas at 53 days. This is show number 627, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back with the Tom Douglas Sports OC on the phone. Our buddy Eddie Pless, the athletic director of Elizabethton High School, joining us by phone. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon to you too. Good to have you coming our way again.
Yes, sir. We always get a chance to talk to him or Mike Wilson. Again, they kind of split duty with athletic directors, and so big football game Friday night. We're going to transition from fall sports to winter sports here in a moment, but obviously the obvious fifth-ranked team in the state, the Cyclones, hosting Sequoia Friday night. Tell me about it.
Well, it's obviously it's a good matchup for us. You know, a 2 versus a 3. They're a team we don't have any history with, but I'm sure we've scouted them just as they have us, and so I just think anytime you have a matchup of somebody where they're unknowns, it just makes for a really good game.
The 12th man at Elizabethton High School is really phenomenal. Coming over watching games on Friday night, the band, the cheerleaders, the crowd decked out in orange and black, and it really is an event in Elizabethton every Friday night, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of the place to be, and like I said, we look forward to this Friday. We hope we have a great crowd. Gates open early. The game time's 7 o'clock instead of 7:30. Gates will open at 5:30 instead of 6. And we're selling tickets, pre-selling now, $8 a piece. You come by the school and pick them up. And like I said, we anticipate some longer lines and things because all those season ticket holders, are purchasing tickets. So we're just looking forward to an exciting night. And I know that our guys are excited and well prepared and ready to go.
For the record, the ticket price is set not by Elizabethton or any of the schools. It's set by the TSSAA. Is that correct?
That's correct. There is one price for all tickets. It's $8, and they only take the championship event, TSSAA pass, and the TACA pass. So a lot of people who are accustomed to using a pass to get in, it's time to pay up now as TSSAA has priced the game at $8, and everybody has to have a ticket to get in.
There you go. So if anybody grumbles about the ticket price, don't grumble at Eddie or Elizabethton because he didn't set it. So
and it'll be the same everywhere across the state. It'll be $8 for these events.
We're talking, of course, if they win next Friday, or when they win, they'll have more than likely travel unless Granger can knock off Anderson County, which is doable. I mean, that's why they play the game. So if the Cyclones, or when the Cyclones win, and if Granger would knock off Anderson County, the Cyclones will be back home next Friday night too, right?
Yes, we would get to host again. Obviously, that'd be a great thing for us. So we'll just have to see. There is a reason they play the games, and that's why our guys, even though we're a 2 seed and Sequoia's a 3, they're well aware of that, and they'll treat that no differently than when they play Greenville or Science Hill or anybody else. They'll prepare the same way. So, and I'm sure the Grangers and the Anderson counties are doing the same thing. Anderson County's an awfully good team, we know, but we're not. Really, that's kind of irrelevant right now. It's Sequoia is kind of what it's all about.
You got it front and center as again Sequoia Chiefs. We're talking to Eddie Pless. You see on the screen the athletic director of Elizabethton. So we are transitioning. Basketball right around the corner for the guys and girls. Tell me about it.
Well, the jamborees are actually this next week. Our girls play in the jamboree. Their jamboree will be at Boone High School. They do a unique thing in the jamboree. The Big Seven will play a member of the Three Rivers. So there are 7, teams from each conference that will play against each other. Like I said, our girls will play at 5 o'clock at Boone. They play Volunteer High School. Then on Thursday the 9th, Elizabethton hosts the boys jamboree. Games start at 5 o'clock, and we will play the last couple of quarters. And I think we play Crockett. No, we play Daniel Boone at 8 o'clock. So again, 14 different teams you have a chance to see in each of those jamborees. Give you a really good idea of what high school basketball is going to be like in the area. And we're excited about both of those. Both teams are cranked up practicing and are just excited to get their season going.
So the girls' jamboree is Tuesday at Boone. Is that correct?
Yes, at Boone. Yes.
And the boys, I'm writing this down. The boys will be Thursday next week at Elizabethton. So.
Yes, at Elizabethton. Yeah, games start at 5 or quarters start at 5, and I think each team's playing two 8-minute quarters, so they'll get to see a lot of basketball that night.
That's awesome. We're talking to Eddie Pless, and also you have swimming and wrestling. Let's promote those two with the Cyclones.
We have swimming. Our swimmers have already had a meet. Coach Jess Sutton has a good number of girls. Our boys' numbers are down just a little bit, but he's still trying to recruit to get some boys swimmers out. And then our wrestling goes for their first event this Saturday. And again, Coach Pennell and Coach Morrell, our boys and girls coaches, are getting things cranked up. We have 2 nationally ranked girls wrestlers in Shemai Wells and Haley Brown, so we're excited to see how they do, as we have a boys and a girls program here.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So Shemaiah, she was, both of these young ladies, as you said, were crowned what? State champions, national champions?
They were involved in the summer in the national championship events, and they both ended up ranked nationally coming out of that. And so we'll follow that as they go, throughout their careers. They're both very good wrestlers, and we have some other females that are really good too. And we've got good numbers in our guys program, and so our coaches are really excited about what's going on in both swimming and wrestling for the winter.
We are setting a Chick-Fil-A, so the obvious here in closing, we want to promote the fact that coming up in December, Elizabethton hosting the Chick-Fil-A Classic Basketball Tournament again. And tell us about that tournament coming up in December.
Yes, it'll be a pre-Christmas tournament this year, the 20th through the 22nd. That's a Wednesday through a Friday. We have 8 teams, have 4 games each night, 4 kind of local and 4 that are from good distance away. We've got the locals are Happy Valley, Chucky Doak and Sullivan Central, and ourselves. And then from down the road, we've got from Concord, North Carolina, the First Assembly of Concord, or Concord First Assembly, which has, I think, a UT and a Memphis recruit. Really good program, has been for years. And then we have University School of Nashville, which is one of the better private schools in the state of Tennessee. And right now it looks like Ridgeway of Memphis is planning on being here, and also Lighthouse Ministries of the Nashville area, which is not a TSSAA school, but it's more of a prep school. So we're going to have some quality basketball teams in our gym the 20th through the 22nd. And we're so thankful to Chick-Fil-A for what they do and helping us make that event possible.
Good stuff. Eddie Pless with us, the athletic director of Elizabethton. What do you want to leave us with, my friend?
Just say go Cyclones, and we hope to move on down the road after Friday.
You got it. Great report, my friend. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yep, great job again, our buddy Eddie Pless, athletic director from Elizabethton, and there you heard it. The girls' jamboree coming up next Tuesday at Daniel Boone. It's the Big 7 versus the Three Rivers Conference here locally, and then next Thursday night will be the boys' jamboree at Elizabethton, and so it's the Big 7 versus the Three Rivers, and so there's a chance you get out and see 14 teams in one night, kind of sizing up each other as far as talent, getting ready for the upcoming basketball season, which is right around the corner, to say the least. And so jamborees are next week, and so again, if you get a chance, check them out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that would be the 7th, 11-7 for the girls, and 11-9 for the boys for the jamborees next week. For again, the girls basketball jamboree at Daniel Boone, the boys basketball jamboree at Elizabethton. Tom Taylor Sports Show, quick break. We'll come right back. We'll again run down for you high school football playoffs this Friday night. Everybody plays at 7 o'clock. They moved it up from 7:30 to 7 for travel. We'll run down to 1A all the way through 6A, see who's playing from our local schools, and see what it's going to take to get a win to move on to the next round. We'll do that coming up next year. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-Fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with the jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Dover Sports Show live again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. Let's run them down for you. High school football. Everybody plays at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and it goes like this. First off in 1A football, Midway at 5-5 will be up on the mountain at Cloudland 8-2. They're the winner of Region 1. The Region 2, let's do it this way. You have Hancock County traveling to Coalfield in 1A football. You have Jellicoe hosting Oliver Springs, and Greenbike has a bye in 1A football. Everybody starts at 7 o'clock. In 2A football, Sullivan North, the Golden Raiders, winners of Region 1. The number 1 seed in 2A football, the Golden Raiders at 7-3, hosting Cumberland Gap at 7-3. Hampton going in as a 3 seed. The Bulldogs at 4-6 will travel to Rockwood. You have Happy Valley's the number 2 seed at 7-3, hosting Oneida on Friday night up on the hill at Happy Valley. And then you have South Green, the number 4 seed at 3-7, traveling to Meigs County, the number 1 seed at 10-0 in Region 2. And that's on 2A football on Friday night. Everybody plays at 7. 3A football, Johnson County wins at Longhorns at 10-0. Third in the state, hosting Northview Academy at 5-5. You have Unicoi County, the Blue Devils, 3 seed, traveling at 5-5 to Austin East, to battle the Roadrunners at 8-2. You have West Green at 6-4. Playing host to Kingston, who's 7-3, and then Claiborne at 5-5. The number 4 seed travels to Alcoa to battle the powerhouse Alcoa at 8-2, and those winners will move on from 3A football on Friday night. 4A football, Greenville, the Green Devils playing host to East Ridge. Greenville 10-0, the number 1 seed. East Ridge at 7-3. Greenville, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Sullivan South, the Rebels, the number 3 seed, traveling to Chattanooga Central. South at 7-3, Chattanooga Central at 6-4. Also, Elizabethton just heard hosting Sequoia. First meeting ever between Sequoia and Elizabethton. Cyclones, the number 2 seed at 8-2, Sequoia at 5-5. And then Granger at 7-3, traveling to Anderson County at 10-0. Something tells me, I don't know what it is. Something tells me that may be an upset brewing. This kid from Granger, if he gets going, this Jeff Bunch, he can flat run the football. And so Granger at 7-3 at Anderson County, the number 1 seed at 10-0, coming up on Friday. 5A football, Daniel Boone in the 5A category, or the class. Daniel Boone, the number 1 seed at 8-2, hosting Knox Central. The Bobcats come to town at 5-5. Morristown East at 4-6, the number 3 seed, traveling to battle the Smoky Bears of Sevier County at 5-5. Again, Morristown East at 4-6. Tennessee High at 6-4 at the Stone Castle. They're going to be hosting South Doyle, the Cherokees, at 5-5, and then Crockett, the Pioneers, at 5-5, heading off to battle the number 1 seed, the Knox Halls Red Devils, at 5-5. And so it's interesting. They're the number 1 seed at 5-5 in that region. So, in fact, all 4 teams out of Region 2 in 5A football are 5-5. That's interesting. So Halls at 5-5, the number 1 seed, and they're hosting the Crockett Pioneers. In 6A football, you see the Bearden Bulldogs at number 4 seed, traveling to Maryville, the number 1 seed, at 9-1. Also, you have the number 3 seed Science Hill at 7-3. The Hilltoppers traveling to Bradley Central. Science Hill 7-3, Bradley Central at 8-2. The number 2 seed Farragut to Admiral's home at 8-2, with a record of 8-2, as we said, hosting Cleveland. And then Dobbins Minute, the number 1 seed in Region 1 6A football. The Indians of Graham Clark at 7-3, battling the Ottawa Owls at 5-5. And so that's your games coming up in 1 through 6 in high school football. Everybody starts at 7 o'clock coming up on Friday. Tomorrow night, basketball, Blue Nanza, East Tennessee State Buccaneer basketball tomorrow night inside of Freedom Hall. Free to the public. Both programs, guys and girls, 3-point shooting, dunk exhibition, intra-squad workouts. Fans will also have an opportunity to hear from Coach Steve Forbes and Brittany Zell about their expectations for the upcoming season, as this will be the first opportunity to see both teams together at the same time on the same floor at Freedom Hall. Special contest and some cash prizes to be held for the fans. So it's all tomorrow night. It's all free at 7 o'clock inside of Freedom Hall for the annual preseason basketball celebration called Blue, not Bonanza, but Blue Nanza, presented by Cates Music Center tomorrow night at 7 o'clock inside of Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. Of course, we told you at the outset of the show, tough news, Jeremy Rodriguez, one of the Bucks they were counting on as a starter, tears up his shoulder. He's out for the season. Again, Jeremy Rodriguez expected to be one of the team's starters in the front court, missing the season with a shoulder injury. Rodriguez, 6'7", who was the Panhandle Conference Player of the Year last season for Northwest Florida State College, expected to undergo season-ending surgery. And so Rodriguez injured his shoulder while playing in a pickup game and missed about 5 weeks of team activities. So you got to know he's not a happy camper to know he got hurt again inside. You got to know he's not happy playing a pickup game. Coach Forbes is not happy, and I'm sure he's not happy either. So anyway, he's not playing. He's out for the season. Jeremy Rodriguez, season-ending shoulder surgery for the big guy, but he'll get a full year of eligibility coming back next year. But again, that's next year, and I'm sure, like any competitor, he wants to be playing this year, but he will not be able to with a torn-up shoulder. What else happening in sports? Again, we've got our buddy Ivan Sanders doing here any minute to talk to us, which is really good. Again, Derek Mason, wide receiver, played 15 seasons in the NFL, charged with felony aggravated domestic assault and misdemeanor vandalism. Again, Mason turned himself in to police in Nashville, told detectives that he grabbed a lady by her neck and hit her in the stomach when she said she no longer wanted to be in a relationship with him. Also bruising on her right upper arm, a red mark on her neck, and a scratch on top of her hand, along with a hole in the door. So he's played Tennessee, Baltimore, the Jets, and the Texans, and so he has been arrested, Derek Mason, with felony aggravated domestic assault and misdemeanor vandalism in Nashville. Soccer, congratulations. It was Milligan College pulling off the upset, upsetting St. Andrews 3-2 in the opening round of the Appalachian Athletic Conference men's soccer tournament in Laurinburg, North Carolina. They'll now play on Friday at the number 2 seed, Bryan College. So congratulations again there to the Milligan College Buffalo men's soccer team, rather. So that's kind of the stuff going on right now in the world of sports as we're live here again on this Wednesday, broadcasting live from Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Some of the menu items come in here. Boy, today, a day like today, it's kind of overcast and a little bit cool. I think a great day to get a big old bowl of chicken noodle soup. I mean, it is good. That's what I'm getting after the show. Woo, can't wait. And so you need to check out, again, the chicken noodle soup, available again here at Chick-fil-A. Also, they've got the trays. A lot of folks come in and get trays for events coming up. We're 53 days away from Christmas. All kinds of reasons to get trays. And you've got trays such as nugget trays, chicken strip trays, chilled, grilled chicken sub sandwich tray, grilled cool wrap trays from Chick-fil-A. Also, this is the catering menu, by the way. So they even have, I think this is really neat, they even have menu suggestions. If you're serving up to 8 people or 15 people or up to 25 people, here's what they recommend you have, so you have plenty of food available. Also, you can cater and have the superfood side tray, the fruit tray, a garden salad tray, the chocolate chunk cookie tray, all those available. Also, they cater drinks, fresh squeezed lemonade by the gallon, box of coffee, soft drinks, Dasani bottled water. They go up and down the line. They even bring the bag of ice or a bucket of ice with a scoop. They can do all that for you as far as a catering situation at Chick-fil-A. And so you can get trays. You can have it catered. Also, they do cater breakfast as well. Let's take a look at the breakfast menu. The Chicky Minis tray, a tray of bite-sized Chick-fil-A nuggets nestled in mini yeast rolls that are lightly coated with honey butter spread, which is awesome. The Chicky Mini tray, you can get that. Also, the fruit tray for breakfast, the Greek yogurt parfait, you can get those. And also the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. All those are catering opportunities. Again, all you got to do is call them at 952-0031 here at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. 952-0031. All right, what else going on? Food City. Here comes my man Dave Angie, ready to roll into the house. Food City, starting today, the race against hunger. So between now and November the 28th, again, you have a chance to $1, $3, and $5 scannable cards will be available at each Food City checkout. If you're wishing to make a donation, simply select the desired dollar amount, add it to your order. 100% of the proceeds benefit hunger relief here inside our region. And again, last year we raised $363,000 through Food City with the race against hunger. Starts today at all Food City locations here across the 4 states, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, and of course Kentucky. So we appreciate Food City very much, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break, we'll be right back. He's here. Dave Angie's going to join us. Ivan Sanders is going to join us. We're going to have a couple of guys back-to-back from the media world talking sports, and we'll do that right after this. We're live at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 627. Tomorrow, we'll be live at Champion Chevrolet for the Tom Taylor Sports Show in the afternoon, and then tomorrow night from 5 till 7, new start time. From 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock, the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview show. All that tomorrow. But up next, Dave Angie joins us from the News and Neighbor here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229 9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, look at him. There he is. You know, Mrs. Angie did good. Now, I'm just going to tell you. She got herself a winner, and you got a winner too, didn't you? Everybody got a winner.
We did pretty well. You know, I was looking at all those NFL trades the other day. There were winners and losers. I think we both did pretty well. I think we did well.
You don't know you never know what the guy's going to say. I'm telling you, he's a piece of work. Love working with him. We are co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show, of course, tomorrow night from Champion Chevrolet. It is a new start time. They will shut their showroom down at 7 o'clock for the winter months, which is an annual thing. Of course, daylight savings time this coming Saturday, where you set your clocks back an hour. So as a result, we'll start our show at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Got lots to talk about. High school football playoffs, East Tennessee State taking on VMI, a game they should win. But Coach Torbush keeps going back to that 37-7 pounding from last year up at VMI, and they should have won that one. So Joe Avento will preview that. Kevin Harmon will preview the Tennessee, bless your heart, Southern Mississippi football game, homecoming on Saturday. Then you've got Chris McCall previewing probably the game of the week, one of them, Virginia Tech and Miami. And then, of course, Dave will preview the 6A, Region 1 6A football playoffs, and then Doug Fritz will be by phone to preview the rest of the high school football playoff games. So it is here, single elimination in high school football. All that's going to take a back seat right now because we've got the game tonight. This is what you play for. Game 7, 2017 World Series. Puig said and Sunday said it will go Game 7. There will be a Game 7. There is a Game 7. Dodgers hold off the Astros 3-1. And, man, Dave Angie, the stage is set for a heck of a baseball game tonight from Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, if you look at the ratings, you know, the ratings for the World Series this year are absolutely through the roof. You know, highest rated World Series in a while, and rightfully so. I mean, it's been so well played. You know, I think both of these teams, it's I think people are a little more familiar with the Dodgers. I think Verlander was a guy that everybody kind of knew off the Astros, but really a lot of players that everybody's kind of getting to know this series that aren't necessarily marquee names, you know, who have come up big. And, you know, it's been so well played. I think people are starting to gravitate back to baseball, you know, based on the World Series last year. I think they picked up a lot of momentum with Cleveland and the Cubs. You know, that obviously drew some interest, and those people have come back this year and are being treated to some really good baseball. You know, this is as good of a product as they've had in a long time. You know, I think with the NFL, if you look at baseball kind of outdoing Sunday Night Football, which is a big deal, you know, when you look at how highly rated Sunday Night Football always has been. You know, that says a lot. I just don't think the quality the NFL is putting on the field in terms of play, I don't think it's as good as it was 10 years ago, you know, and I think baseball is really on the rise right now, and rightfully so.
Well, you look at some of the names. You made it. You know, household names have become Jock Peterson and Cody Bellinger and George Springer and Jose Altuve. And I mean, these guys that a lot of folks hadn't heard of before the series are now, as you said, becoming household names. I mean, here's Springer. You know, Springer, his 4th home run of the series ties him with Lenny Dykstra for the most ever. Yeah. This guy also, I thought this was an incredible stat. He's the only player to hit game-tying, go-ahead home runs in 3 straight games of the same World Series. Only other guy that's done that was the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. So you're right. A lot of these guys are becoming household names. And I think given, the sad state of affairs for me in the National Football League that we don't talk about anymore here on the show, I think baseball has really risen to the occasion and has really taken this country by storm here over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to the product. NFL has been kind of a marketing machine for years, and all the professional sports try to do that. And I think you look at NASCAR as being a sport, they try to market as well, and it's across the board. But if the product that you're putting out there isn't good, it doesn't take people long to realize that and say, this isn't as good as we thought it was. I think the NFL, a lot of it has to do with a lot of big-name quarterbacks kind of retiring at the same time. And, you've got your Tom Brady's, who's still kind of holding on. He's kind of the last of the old guard, him and Roethlisberger, a couple of those guys. But they're waiting for that new generation of young quarterbacks to step up. And there have been so many who have been either one-year wonders or have flopped altogether that they're really needing that to come along to get the quality of play back up. But on the baseball side of it, so many young stars. We talk about it all the time. And I think with getting the steroids out of the game, it's really led back to a style of baseball. I know they hit a lot of home runs now, but it still reminds me a lot of what baseball was in the mid '80s. When it was just a different game. And people know at this point with the drug testing, everything's on the up and up, and it's exciting. It's fun to watch.
We're talking again to Dave Andre from the News and Neighbor. He'll co-host the show with me tomorrow night. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who wins tonight? Dodgers? Who wins? Dodgers or Astros?
I think the Dodgers do, just because if you look at Houston. I'm trying to remember what their win percentage is on the road. I think their win in Los Angeles was their only postseason win away from Minute Maid Park. And that's that's pretty amazing when you look at that stat. They've only won once on the road, but they've only lost one game at home. So they're just a different team outside of that ballpark. I think that showed last night. I don't think they're going to generate enough offense tonight. I think Los Angeles gets it done.
The National League is 23-14 all-time in Game 7. They've won the last 3 Game 7s and 5 out of the last 6. The road team, 19-18 all-time in Game 7. So there's some interesting stats. Of course, the Astros have never played a Game 7 in the World Series. The Dodgers, they won Game 7 in 55 and 65, lost Game 7 in 47, 52, and 56. So a little bit of trivia for you. But
here's the other thing. They've never hosted a Game 7 in Dodger Stadium. And I didn't realize this about Dodger Stadium. This will be the first Game 7 ever in Dodger Stadium. I think they've played in 9 World Series while they've been in Dodger Stadium. It's the 3rd oldest park behind Fenway and Wrigley. And they've never had a home Game 7 there, which is a little bit quirky. But they'll enjoy one tonight. And tickets are a little bit expensive. If you're thinking of going, gonna cost you on the secondary market.
He's a trivia machine. I didn't know that. This is why we get him in there. I did not know this is the first time they've hosted a Game 7 ever in Dodger Stadium. You're taking the Dodgers. Yeah. I'm taking the Dodgers, even though sentimentally I'd like to see Astros win it for the hurricane victims in Houston. Yeah. But on the field, between the lines, I think in a 9-inning game, I should say. See, I got to go with the Dodgers. Kershaw says he'll come out of the bullpen. He pitched on Sunday night. He said, I can go 27 innings if I need to. These guys are jacked up.
You have a whole off season to rest, but
there you go.
Yep,
we'll see.
And what I really enjoy about this year is I really hated that period of time when baseball, the All-Star game, determined home field advantage. I thought that was terrible. This year the Dodgers won 2 more games in the regular season than the Astros did, and they get to host Game 7. That's a big deal. You shouldn't have that come down to, having Marlins and Royals and all these other people out there on the field deciding something in July that is as important as tonight is going to be. So it was done on merit, and I can get behind that.
Go ahead. There you go.
Can we talk Tennessee? Can we talk Tennessee football for a minute?
Tennessee football?
Because I've got some strange theories for you.
All right, here we go. We're talking to Dave Andre. Coming up, Ivan Sanders is going to join us with Elizabeth and Star in a few minutes. He and his lovely bride are eating lunch right now. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So, strange theories from Dave Andre about Tennessee football. Here we go.
Okay, I read something the other day. This might be interesting to Tennessee fans. I don't want to raise any false hope here, but I read the other day that ESPN is preparing their subscribers and the cable companies that carry them for the fact that they're not going to get Monday Night Football again here in 2020 or whenever the bidding comes back up. So they're getting to the end of the road with Monday Night Football. They're not going to have NFL on their network at all.
Gruden's leaving.
So there you go. they're getting ready to come up on another round of firing too. And that guy makes a lot of money for what he does. So I think Gruden's starting to maybe look toward getting back into coaching, and that's my thought at the moment. The other interesting thing about Tennessee is I read a report today that his agent has already, Butch Jones, his agent has already negotiated a buyout from Tennessee and is reaching out looking for landing spots for him to coach next season. So although he's still kind of there at Tennessee, I think the writing's on the wall. I think everybody knows that Butch Jones won't be coaching next season. So now the question becomes, if Gruden's looking at getting back into coaching, Butch Jones already on his way out. There are connections there, obviously, that everybody's talked about for years at Tennessee. Is this going to be the landing spot for him? Because I'm telling you, Albert Hainsworth, and some other players, ex-players that are really connected into the program are talking like there's a very high chance of this happening. And, I've kind of, every other coaching search the last couple, I've laughed at the idea of Gruden coming there. But now there's a lot of writing on the wall that just with Gruden's personal situation, I never thought he would leave that Monday night booth willingly. But, he's getting to the point now where there's a time limit on that job, and he's got to be starting to look at what do I want to do, and that makes it more attractive for him to get back into coaching. So
that may be why Tennessee looks from here, and Johnson City, they're taking their good sweet time to make a move. Maybe they already got the move behind the scenes, because what I keep seeing now, Florida proved it over the weekend. You've got, just the article I read over the weekend, you got Auburn, Texas A&M, Missouri, and Tennessee's coaches are very much on the hot seat just in the Southeastern Conference. Yeah. If you don't make a move now and go get some of these marquee coaching names, and of course Florida picked up Randy Shannon. They're waiting. They keep saying we're going to get Dan Mullen from Mississippi State. Remains to be seen. But for me, if you're Tennessee and you don't go out there and get one of these marquee names, you're going to get scooped up with these other schools. And that's just in the Southeastern Conference. There's no telling who else out there is going to be looking for a coach. So if you don't pull the trigger now, you're going to be caught again, I think, picking up another second-tier coach, much like a Butch Jones. He was not a front-running marquee big-name coach. And so that may be all playing into Curry's being Joe Cool because the deal's been struck by the same.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you might be onto something there. And I'm not going to judge Tennessee at this point for what they're doing, because I remember Florida and Michigan both hired coaches the same year. And everybody praised Florida to the high heavens for going and quickly hiring McElwain, like right away. They snapped him off the market. They said, that's great. That's how you do a coaching search. You have your ducks in a row. Meanwhile, Michigan's dragging it along. And everybody's like, what are they doing? They're botching another coach hire. Their third one in a row, and they're going to mess this one up. Because nobody in the world believed Harbaugh was coming from the 49ers to Michigan. But behind the scenes, they had that all set up. They were negotiating. They kept it quiet. It didn't get out in the public. And next thing you know, that happened, and that shocked everybody. So it's a case where, if you're Tennessee, one of two things is happening right now. Either they're really getting deep into those negotiations, and that's something that may happen, or they're botching it. It's about 50-50. But I'm just going to say this time, and I've never given it any credence before at all when people start talking about Gruden, but I'll tell you, there are definitely some motivating factors on both sides and some encouraging signs on both sides that could actually possibly happen.
I can't believe that there hadn't been talk as far back as September 16th or 17th. They lost to Florida. Then they struggled against UMass, get hammered by Georgia. You can write down the schedule here. Yeah. I cannot believe that there has not been behind the scenes 11 o'clock at night phone calls or whatever to reaching out to people. He can't be that dumb. There's got to be something behind the scenes in the works at Tennessee. They can't just be going, well, we're just going to ride it out with Coach Jones and everyone will see what's going to happen. Yeah. There's got to be, there has to be a game plan in place. We're not privy to it, but and Gruden's got a kid at UT. I think his wife is from the East Tennessee area. You make great points. ESPN's going to make another cut. They're eliminating Monday Night Football, which in essence eliminates him. You have more former players coming out. They're going to be up in the broadcast booth, a.k.a. Tony Romo being one of them. So I think his star power on TV is diminishing somewhat. He wants to get back into coaching. Here's my question. Because he coached the Raiders, and they got hammered in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, forget all the star power. X's and O's. Can John Gruden coach?
I think he can. I think one of the big things about him is in the college game, what's really important. You can get coordinators in the college game and that'll get the job done from an X's and O's standpoint. And those coordinators are more important. If you look at head coaches, look at Notre Dame as a good example. Brian Kelly last year couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag in the mind of most people. So he looked at it and said, I got to scrub these guys out of here. He scrubbed his coaching staff he brought in other people that he felt had a better handle on what to do. All of a sudden, magically, Notre Dame's winning big football games. And what they did to NC State last week, highly impressive. And they won. So my take on that is what you got to have in college is you got to be a magnet to bring in great players. You have to have good coordinators under you, know how to run and be an administrator where you delegate. And that's one thing an NFL coach has to do is delegate. And so he's got that. I think players will be excited to come play for him because he's had so much FaceTime on ESPN over the years. The guy's a legend. He's an icon. He'd bring in the players and hopefully have the coordinators in place to coach him.
Before we switch to NASCAR, last question, Butch Jones. Okay. He leaves Tennessee. Is he a head coach somewhere else? You look at, he's had the resources, he's had the facilities, he's had the recruiting budget, he's had whatever he wants at his fingertips to be successful at Tennessee, and he's not. So if you're an AD out there somewhere, do you take a chance on Butch Jones as a head coach? Is he going to be a really good assistant coach on a big staff?
I think he's going to be a guy that ends up, we're talking about coaches that are leaving to take other jobs. You hear that list, like Scott Frost is going to go somewhere next year. It's going to be Nebraska, possibly Tennessee, possibly Arkansas, somewhere in the SEC. So that's the level of job that he's going to land at. If you look at where Charlie Strong landed at South Florida last year, after things didn't work well at Texas, he's back there and he's back grinding. He'll be a head coach, but it'll be on that level. It'll be Conference USA. It'll be somewhere along those lines.
Mid-Americans.
Yeah,
like
it'll be
a second tier.
Non-Power 5 Division 1 is where he'll be coaching, and he'll get back after it.
Yeah, that's where he came from. So, Dave Andrew with us for a couple of more minutes. Ivan Sanders joins us coming up from the Elizabethton Star. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Tomorrow we'll be at Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Tover Sports Show, show number 627 today, 628 obviously tomorrow. NASCAR, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, a little dust up. Chase didn't like it. Denny jumped out of the car, and he kind of ran him into the wall after the race was over, kind of nudged him up into the outside wall, and they had some words, and they have since apologized, which I think's nuts. That's what sells tickets, and I'm so sorry, and I've been racing for 10,000 races, and I've never done that, blah, blah, blah. Guys, God, man up here. You wrecked, you're in a race. It's okay if you wreck somebody.
Yeah.
You say, well, Tom, Chase Elliott's not your guy, but it sells tickets and the drama, so don't apologize, be a wuss. I mean, did they apologize back in the day? No, they didn't apologize.
No, you just go race next week.
Exactly. Don't come out and sit down, let's have lunch and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Especially at a short track.
God.
If you're Denny Hamlin, you look at the camera and say, well, I'm in the final race. I lock myself in.
It's racing.
It's the playoffs. That's what you do. That's what they try to, so I don't know what that was all about. I thought the excitement of it was good. I really am puzzled by the fact that scenario is allowed to play out at all, because you had Brad Keselowski sailing away to win that race, and somehow Joey Logano, who's not even in the conversation anymore, stays out there with a tire rub until his tire blows, brings out a caution. That's the only way Brad Keselowski can lose that race.
He
lost it for his teammate, and it's absolutely mind-boggling to me that Roger Penske, who owns both those cars, didn't go down to that pit box and say, get that 22 in here, let's fix that tire. Yeah. Because that's the only way. So now Keselowski's got to go try his luck at a 1.5 mile track over there in Texas. Not very good on 1.5 miles this year. And then, of course, anything can happen at Phoenix. They could be shut out altogether. And that, to me, is just bad from an organization standpoint. The one thing I will ask about, though, you remember a few years back the whole Michael Waltrip thing, the intentional wreck, and then they say everybody's got to go 100% at all times. Would that have been violating the 100% rule to bring Logano in with the tire rub? I don't know. So that's the only out that I'll give them, is that it could have looked like they were coordinating to try to avoid a caution, but it would have been hard to prove that, it's a tire rub, he's going to wreck his car, he's got to come in, it's a safety thing. So two ways to look at that.
And you feel for Chase Elliott. Obviously, this guy's, he's almost like the Mark Martin. It was so close yet so far away. He's yet to win. Yeah. He's been runner-up so many times. This guy was on his way to win the race. But again, your point was made and well put. Keselowski was actually going to win that race till Logano did his thing against his teammate. A poor choice by the crew chief, who's taking full blame for it from Logano's camp. But Chase Elliott upset, and of course you can went back and watched the video several times, and Hamlin comes up to the car and he says, "You wrecked me. Yep. Come on, man, you wrecked me." You could read it over and over and over. So, you can read it, not read it over and over, but see it over and over, read his lips. So the bottom line is, Elliott loses. It's racing. It's just like Labonte, up here with Terry Labonte. He said, "I just rattled his cage. It's racing." And we've heard that used hundreds of times since it happened. but it's racing.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, next week you get a chance. Of course, his crew chief, Alan Gustafsson, says, you know, when we go to Texas, turnabout may be fair play. That's great. That sells tickets. It's okay. Well, it's racing.
I'll tell you this, and I'll give him some advice. Not that I'm trying to stir anything up. You don't wreck him at Texas because that win gets him into the Final Four. You wait and you wreck him at Homestead. That's what you do, especially if Chase Elliott doesn't make it to Homestead. Yeah, you get that 11 and you turn it around when you get a chance, and that's where you hit him where it hurts. Cause you wreck him at Texas, he's like, I'm in anyway. I don't care. So that would be my advice. Yeah, hit him when it hurts.
That's
that
would
be
winner.
What does it say about me? That's the first thing I think. Wait and wreck him till it really hurts his feelings.
I want to keep this guy on my side. He's kind of cruel over here.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing too is the conspiracy folks said, well, Hamlin did that to Chase Elliott to help his teammate win, Kyle Busch, and I thought that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. So, Denny Hamlin's out there trying to win for Denny Hamlin.
I don't think and I don't have any inside information. I don't think Denny Hamlin will go out of his way to do much for Kyle Busch. I think that's a team right there where they're teammates, but man, those guys compete against each other, and I don't know if they necessarily like each other any more than a lot of non-teammates out there.
Teammates and name only. I think that's the story there. So before I let you go again, Ivan Sanders waiting in the wings, and so you're going to be back with us tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. We'll get a lot more coverage of the World Series after tonight, Game 7. So Busch has punched his ticket to Florida. The Homestead, he's in. You got so you got 7 drivers trying to squeeze into 3 slots now at Texas and at Phoenix. So Phoenix typically is a Harvick track. Texas is typically a Jimmy Johnson track. Other guys as well. So it'll be interesting at the Super Speedway at Texas and of course in Phoenix to decide who gets in there for the Final Four at Homestead.
It's going to be a Toyota next week. You can almost guarantee it. I guarantee you 6 or 7 of those Toyotas will be qualified in the top 10. They're probably all going to run there. And if anybody beats Truex at this point at a mile and a half, it's a miracle. That's my take on it. And we'll see if it's proven wrong. Jimmy Johnson in the spring won there, but that was back when they'd resurfaced the track. And when the 48 team goes out there and there's no information, no notebooks, it's a brand new surface. 9 times out of 10, Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson will figure that out before anybody else. So, that's the one wrinkle in that might give them a chance. But I'd say you're looking at big Toyota day coming up this weekend.
There you go. Tomorrow, you with me?
Tomorrow, man. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll talk football tomorrow night too.
Talk football tomorrow night. It's 5:00 new start time. 5:00 to 7. Like us and share us, and you have been. The numbers are growing. We appreciate that. And then we also have the show tomorrow. We'll be at Champion Chevrolet tomorrow from 11 to 1. He'll come along about 12:30 and do his thing again. So we'll see you then. Get yourself something to eat. You hungry?
Hey, man, I could eat. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Quick break. Ivan Sanders joins us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again with the final segment. Again, our buddy you see on the screen, Ivan Sanders, with the Elizabethton Star. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Tom?
Good. You've already had lunch. What'd you get?
I had a chicken sandwich deluxe.
What did Mrs. Sanders have?
She has what she normally has is a chicken sandwich with pretty much nothing on it.
There you go. And she enjoyed it. Did you not? You liked that sandwich? Good.
Yeah, she did.
Grinning, look at her. She
Yeah,
said, I like it. So we got lots to talk about here. We want to jump in there. Everybody I got on the show today, obviously, it's the big game tonight, Game 7 of the World Series. The Dodgers said, Twigg said, we'll go Game 7. It won't end on Tuesday night, and it did not. So we go to Game 7 tonight. McCullers, Houston, Yu Darvish for the Dodgers. Who do you like and why?
Well, I have to say, Tom, after last night, when you've got your ace pitcher going and you just can't get the job done, I felt like the Dodgers sort of just reached up and sort of put their hands around the throats of the Astros last night and said, this is going to be ours to take. I think that the Dodgers really just grabbed the momentum, and tonight I think that you'll see that being at home is going to be definitely an advantage, and I feel like the Dodgers are going to win. In my heart, I would love to go with the Astros. I'd love to see the Astros win just simply because they got a couple old Braves on there, and Brian McCann and Evan Gattis, but it's going to be tough to beat the Dodgers at home tonight in the final game of the series.
The National League is 23-14 all time in Game 7. The road team is 19-18 all time in Game 7. So 9 of the last 11 Game 7s were won by a team that trailed in the series 3-2. Had to win Game 6 to force Game 7 and went on to win it. So most recently was the 2014 Giants and the 1997 Marlins. So again, McCullers against Darvish, and Kershaw said, if they need me, I'll come out of the pen, whatever. I mean, there is no tomorrow. You got to do it. Whatever they need from me. If I get wore out tonight, I can rest up till March for spring training. So tonight, Game 7 of the World Series at Dodger Stadium. Again, Dave Angie brought up a point I didn't know, that this is the first time ever that there's been a Game 7 hosted by the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, which is pretty interesting stat.
They have a pretty long storied history too, with the Dodgers playing there in LA, and for this to be the first Game 7, it's sort of amazing. But I think what's going to happen, the team that really gets out there and jumps out front first and puts the pressure on the other team's pitching staff, I think that whoever scores first may have the upper hand, because they're going to be putting pressure on that coach to make. Of course, like you said, that they've got all the pitchers that they can use every pitcher they have tonight. It's really not going to matter about tomorrow. So you might even see Verlander come back tonight and pitch an inning if he had to, But it's going to be an interesting game. It really is.
It's a long winter to rest up, so they got to do whatever. They're going to pull out all the stops and all the yah-yahs to win this thing, and that's what you've been starting since March, spring training. This is what you play for. Game 7. You talking about every pitch, every move, every swing of the bat, everything is going to be loaded with stress and pressure tonight. So.
Absolutely.
So that's Game 7 of the World Series. We'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Of course, we'll recap it, whoever wins and how they win tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. High school football. Here we go. We'll put him on the hot seat, see what he thinks. Region Class Single, I should say. We've got Midway at Cloudland. Who do you like there?
I still like the Highlanders, Cloudland Highlanders. Mike Lunsford's got that team rolling up there. They put up a lot of points. They're tough on their home field. It's going to be probably a good game, but I think Cloudland's going to hold the upper hand and take that win.
Hancock travels to Coalfield. Coalfield at 9-1.
I think Coalfield, hands down, has got to be the team that everybody's looking at to win that game tonight. Setting up that matchup next week with Cloudland should they win. So I'll go with Coalfield in that game, Tom.
Oliver Springs at Jellicoe. Jellicoe, the number 2 seed out of Region 1.
You look at the records, Oliver Spring 3-7, Jellicoe 4-6. Neither team has won a lot of games this year. That's tough. I think I will go just simply because they're at home. I'm going to go with Jellicoe.
All right. Let's go to 2A football. By the way, Greenby gets a bye because Unaka is ineligible this year because of what happened last year when they shut the program down. They penalized them to get to the playoffs this year and next year, as a matter of fact. 2A football. Sullivan North, the number 1 seed out of Region 1, hosting Cumberland Gap. Raiders or Cumberland Gap?
I like the Raiders at home. I like the offense that Coach Norris runs over there at Sullivan North. I think that home field advantage will be key, and I think they'll pull out the win.
Hampton, the number 3 seed of Region 1, the Bulldogs at 4-6. They travel to Rockwood at 7-3. Bulldogs got an uphill. They travel, first off, a long way to Rockwood. They got an uphill battle, right?
They do. They've lost. They lost 4 or 5 games in a row there around the mid-season, and they've got back on track here the last couple of weeks. But Rockwood is a solid team. The trip down there is going to be kind of hard on the Dogs. I think that Rockwood will take that win over Hampton.
Happy Valley, the Warriors, the number 2 seed at home at 7-3, hosting Oneida. Can the Warriors do it?
They can. I mean, you have to look at the Warrior defense. They've been stout all year long. They're one of the state leaders in defense. I don't think they give up maybe 9 or 10 points a ball game. So I think that the Indians of Oneida is going to be in for a long night on Warrior Hill.
South Green, the Lady Rebels. South Green Rebels at 3-7 will be going. I was thinking about their volleyball. South Green Rebels at 3-7, traveling to the number 1 seed at 2, Meigs County at 10-0. On paper, Meigs County.
It's got to be Meigs County. Coach Jordy Harrison's done a good job with the Rebels down there, but it's going to be a tough battle. And I think that when you're going against Meigs County, you got an uphill battle at that. So I'm going to go with the Meigs County.
See on the screens on Ivan Sanders of Elizabethton Star. 3A football, Johnson County, solid number 3 all season long. Statewide polls. Longhorns hosting Northview Academy at 5-5. Longhorns up on the hill or up on the Mountain City on Friday night. Won't be as cool as normal because we're supposed to have some pretty balmy weather this weekend. So it's not going to be I don't think weather's going to be a condition. I think just Johnson County's a pretty good football team.
They're a good football team. Their defense has been solid all year. They have a great quarterback in Arnold. Kudos to Johnson County. They've taken a beating for quite a while, and this year they've had an outstanding season, ranked in the top 10 all year long. I'm going to go with the Longhorns. I believe they'll take care of Northview, and if you've never played on the Longhorn Field, it's a dingy place to play. So I think there's going to be some things going for them that Northview Academy may have a hard time overcoming.
Unicoi County 5-5, number 3 in the region, traveling to Austin East. Roadrunners at 8-2, the number 1 seed. Unicoi County, great job done by Drew out there, Unicoi County, but they got their hands full.
Absolutely, the Roadrunners Austin East always up there in the top. It's a unique place to play. If you've never played at Austin East High School, unique place to play. I think that Unicoi County may see their season end tonight.
West Green Friday night will be traveling, or actually hosting Kingston. West Green at 6-4, Kingston at 7-3. Interesting matchup coming up as the number 3 seed at 7-3 Kingston. So it could be an interesting ball game for West Green.
It's going to be. I think West Green is going to really have to jump out front early if they're going to have a chance to win this game. Kingston can put up some points on you. I'll have to go with Kingston though. Just I think that the league they play in is a little bit more solid, and I think Kingston takes care of business.
The number 4 seed in Region 1, Claiborne at 5-5 goes to Alcoa 8-2. On paper, it's Alcoa all the way.
Absolutely, Tom. No doubt.
No doubt. 4A football. Let's take a look. Greenville, the number 1 seed in Region 1, hosting East Ridge at 7-3. Greenville at 10-0. Will they have anything for Greenville Friday night, East Ridge?
I don't think so. Not at playing at Burley Stadium. It's going to be tough, as many teams have found out over the course of the last few years. Green Devil's tough this year. And I will say this about this region here, Tom. this region here has a particularly interesting matchup sequence here, and I've been thinking about this for quite a while. But I believe that it's a possibility that after Friday night, you may see it all Region 1 4A showdown.
Sullivan South travels at 7-3, at a pretty good 7-3 for Justin Hilton, to Chattanooga Central 6-4.
Yep.
You're taking the Rebels on the road.
I'm taking Rebels on the road. Justin's done a great job over there with the Rebels this year. They've got a lot of talent, and I think that they go down there and they take care of Chattanooga Central.
Sequoia and Elizabethton will be on the sideline to watch that one Friday night. Number 2 seed Cyclones 8-2, Sequoia 5-5. First time they've ever met. And on paper, you would think Elizabethton would be the team.
Yeah, the question here is not Elizabethton winning, but how many points that Sean wants to go put on the board, because you want to keep your team fresh. You want to keep them ready for the next week's contest. It's hard to pull back the reins whenever you're trying to at this point of the season. So Elizabethton definitely the upper hand. Sequoia got thumped pretty good Friday night against Anderson County, 62-0, I think it was. So Elizabethton hands down in this week. But again, the question is not if they win, but how much they win by.
Granger at 7-3, the number 4 seed goes to Anderson County, the number 1 seed. Granger's got that kid, man. He runs hard. He ran hard. I saw him against Elizabethton. I think his last name is Bunch.
Yep.
I mean, he hammers the ball. So if he can get going, I don't know if they can pull off the upset or not. But if they would pull the upset off and Elizabethton wins like we're projecting, then they would be at home next Friday night. Can Granger beat Anderson County down there?
Tom, my son-in-law's an official down in the Knoxville, Chattanooga area, and talking with him, that conference down there is not as strong. Yes, Anderson County is undefeated, but I don't think the quality of the teams that they play down there this year is anything like what we've got in our region. Granger is one of those teams that is tough. They're tough. And I think if Bunch gets on a roll, they're going to have a hard time stopping him and slowing him down. The question is Sequoia's defense, can they hold Anderson County down out the end zone long enough to be able to battle to the win? I'm going to go with Granger County just on a whim. I think they'll pull it off.
Yep, I'm going with the upset too. I think Granger County is going to pull off the upset against Anderson County. Of course, I'm selfishly saying that because that would put, if the Cyclones win, that would put them at home next Friday night. But we'll see. Daniel Boone 5A football at home. The Trailblazers, the number 1 seed, hosting Knox Central at 5-5. Trailblazers have it all their way, all the way to the state finals. So if they mess up this year, boy, they've got nobody to blame but themselves. Boone 8-2 against Central 5-5.
I'm going to go with Daniel Boone. I think Boone's a solid team. We saw them when Elizabethton played them this year. Coach Jenkins does a phenomenal job over there with his team. And, anytime you play any teams from the Knoxville area, you're going to see a lot of speed. So the question is can Boone's defense slow that speed down?
Morristown East 4-6. The Hurricanes travel to Sevier County 5-5. Again, that's a ball game. Again, it'll be down in Sevier County. It's interesting that all 4 teams out of Region 2 are all 5-5. Hawes, South Doyle, Sevier County, and Knox Central all 5-5. So I guess the pecking order came by virtue of head-to-head competition inside the conference. Morristown East, can they beat Sevier County?
Tom, I think you could probably pretty much take a coin and flip it, put one team on heads, one team on tails, and see what the outcome is, because I think it just depends on what team shows up. Sevier County's got the athletes, but Morristown East does as well. So I'll give the heads on this one to Morristown East, I think.
Tennessee High to Stone Castle Friday night, the number 2 seed at 6-4, hosting South Doyle. The Cherokees at 5-5. Vikings or South Doyle?
I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think they've got the quarterback, they've got the running game, and they're playing in Stone Castle. It's always tough to play over there. We saw that this year when Elizabethton played over there, how tough it is. So I'm going to go with the Vikes. 2
500 teams in this last game in 5A football. Crockett at 5-5, traveling to Knox Hall's the number 1 seed, but they're only 5-5. So either it's a tough region or a weak division because they're all 500 teams in the playoffs. You take Halls or Crockett?
Gosh, Tom, it's really tough. With all Crockett's been through this year, you should hope that maybe they can get a win in the playoffs down there. It's going to be tough on the road. Again, you can throw the records out the door. Both teams are even. I'll take Crockett.
Take Crockett. All right. Finally, 6A football. You've got Dobbins Bennett, the number 1 seed at 7-3, maybe one of Graham's best coaching jobs ever. At one point, they were down for the count to even get into the playoffs, and then how things work out down the stretch. They win the conference or win the Big East Conference. They host Ottawa, which has got a heck of a running back Friday night. DB or Ottawa in Kingsport?
Graham Clark, if he doesn't get Coach of the Year honors in Region 1 6A, I don't think there's any coach more deserving for the turnaround he's brought his team through. I like the way the Indians are playing right now. I'm going to go with Dobbins Bennett.
Science Hill at 7-3. Boy, they really stubbed their toe. They had it in the catbird seat and let it get away, so now they got to travel to Bradley Central. You take the Hilltoppers at 7-3 or Bradley Central at home at 8-2.
Science Hill had the bye week, and I was just thinking that, as a team that's coming off a hard loss like that, knowing that you've lost the opportunity to play at home, some of that stuff festers up in you and you want to take that out on somebody. I think Science Hill can pull it out on the road.
Farragut, number 2 seed at 8-2. The Admirals hosting Cleveland at 7-3 Friday night at Farragut at Admiral Stadium. What do you think?
Oh boy. Cleveland's always one of those teams you just don't ever know what team's going to show up. Very tough. I'll go with Farragut since they're at home this week.
Last one, the Bearden Bulldogs, number 4 in Region 1, travels to the number 1 seed in Region 2, the Maryville Rebels. Here we go again with the new coach, but they're still Maryville 9-1. Bearden 6-4. Bulldogs got anything for them?
No, the Maryville Rebels, they'll wipe them out pretty much, I think, Tom.
There you go. Last but not least, before we let you go, we've run over, and that's okay. We can do that because we're on the internet. We're on Facebook. So tell me your thoughts about probably the biggest game in college football, one of the biggest, coming up again on Saturday night in Miami. The Hurricanes of Mark Richt and the Hokies of Justin Fuente. Fuente's already getting some nibbles and they're throwing his name out a lot as replacement of some of these big marquee coaching positions in the Southeastern Conference. But first, the Hokies at Miami, business comes first. What do you think?
Tom, I think that anybody that can make it to that game is going to get their money's worth. I think you're going to see 2 solid football programs coached by 2 very good coaches, and Mark Richt and Justin Fuente. Going to be a barn burner. Miami's tough at home. The Hokies have shown a lot of resilience this year. I'm going to go with the Hokies on the road simply because I think that Fuente's got them hungry this year, and really they can make their own road the rest of the way down the season. But I love Mark Richt. If I had to pick, I think I told you this before, but if I had to pick to replace Butch Jones at Tennessee, I'd love to see Mark Richt come back up because just such a great coach. But should be a great game for all the fans there and all the fans watching it on television.
If you're Justin Fuente, do you listen to the offers going into the Southeastern Conference? Is he happy in Virginia Tech?
The SEC is known for football. Yeah. I mean, it's known as the powerhouse. That's where national championships have been made several times over the last few years. The money, I think, will be a little bit greater in the SEC. An offer to even coach somewhere like University of Tennessee, 110,000 folks every time you play at home. It'd be hard to turn a deaf ear to something like that. Even Texas A&M even would be a great opening should they replace their coach there. But I think that Fuente's one of those coaches that's going to have a lot of offers coming his way if he so chooses to entertain them.
More money, but more pressure in the Southeastern Conference for sure, because you got Auburn out there hanging, Texas A&M, of course Tennessee, and even Missouri. They're not happy with Odom in Missouri, so and Kevin Sumlin's very much on the hot seat.
Yeah. Tennessee, you're talking about Tennessee, and the thing is, I think it's really bothering people right now is just they may have made some deals in the background. I heard you and Dave talking earlier. There might have been something going on in the background, but right now the Tennessee fan base just feels like they have been completely ignored, which, they're not the one making the decision, of course, but there's a lot of impact that those fans have on the game, and I think that Tennessee's going to have to do something soon just to keep the fans from really riding down the end. So,
bowl eligible right now in the Southeastern Conference already. Of course, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, and South Carolina. Florida's got 4 wins in each 6. Ole Miss has 3 wins. Mississippi State with 5 wins should get number 6 coming up Saturday against UMass, so they should be bowl eligible. Missouri's got 3. I don't know if they can get 6 or not. Tennessee's got 3. I don't know if they can win 3 of the last 4 games. It would not appear to be, but stranger things have happened. Texas A&M's got 5. They'll try and close it out against Auburn coming up in New Mexico. They don't beat Auburn. I know they're getting New Mexico, I would think, to be bowl eligible. And then Vanderbilt's got 3. They need 6. So that's where you are as far as bowl eligibility for the Southeastern Conference. Ivan Sanders sees on the sideline.
Yes, sir.
Friday night, covering the Cyclones as only he can do it. Does a great job doing it. Did the Elizabethan Star and taking pictures and writing up the story. It should be a fun game. Weather-wise, should be a great night Friday night.
Yes, sir, it should be. It looks like it's going to be warm on Friday during the day, so that should carry some heat over into the evening. So maybe not as chilly as it was last week at Central. And I'm just looking forward to a good ball game. Hopefully, great crowds will the one thing that really this season, as this new season starts, the one thing that I really would want to encourage these communities that Scott football team's playing is I'd want to encourage them to go out there and support these young men and these coaches and these cheerleaders and the bands. These guys have put in a lot of hard work from the time football season was all over last year until now, and there's going to be some great local football played, and we need to just get out and support our community schools that's in the playoffs this year.
Well put. And there ain't no tomorrow. This is it. So,
that's right.
Again, I want to say thanks to Ivan coming by. Eddie Pless joined us on the phone, the athletic director from Elizabeth, and Dave Angie. Also, Jeremy Livesey and Brittany Kasem from Movement Mortgage of the Tri-Cities, one of our sponsors. So we will rejoin you tomorrow at Chick-Fil-A. Tomorrow we'll rejoin you at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile, Johnson City. And I guess you're helping close this thing out, aren't you?
Sure.
Here we go. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. So for Ivan and Connie, the folks here at Chick-fil-A, we'll rejoin you tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. And we tell you, as always, as we close our show number 627, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.